Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 373. Today we will be talking about, I don't know, I really had to scrap, no, how do I say it? I really had to scrape around the bottom of the barrel for content, but we still have stuff to talk about. There's literally nothing going on today, but I managed to find some stuff. We will be getting into all of it. A little bit of updates for this Iran situation and a lot of altcoin updates that we will be getting into. Solana, Monero, big companies, Coinbase, MicroStrategy, what's that other Ethereum company, Bitmine? All these we'll be discussing in tonight's stream. Tomorrow's family day, no work. Hey, that's amazing. You know what else though? Markets aren't open, so we're probably not going to get any volatility either. That's annoying. At least we have new pivot levels. That's something to smile about. So, what do I see from here? Given the fact that I'm not really expecting a lot of volatility tomorrow, what is even tomorrow? What is the holiday tomorrow in the USA? It's President's Day. Okay. In Canada, it's Family Day. I think a family is more important than a president, especially if it's not in my country. I'm joking, of course, but, you know, much respect to Trump. I'm sure Trump will do something, though, actually, so maybe something happens. Banks are closed, and stock market will also be closed. So, yeah. No market open tomorrow. Now, same deal with Canadian markets. It's pretty much going to be a low volatility day, in my opinion. I don't think we're getting any economic data tomorrow either. Nope. We're only getting Fed Bowman speech. Why? Go celebrate the president or something. Anyways, I also don't get to work tomorrow, which is great. A much-deserved break. I am tired, but we'll push through it. We will be fine. Now, given the fact that we're expecting low volatility, given the fact as well that we have a resistance level generated by the pivots at 71,787, I don't know why specifically there. Maybe we would drop this super trend resistance just a little bit to around 72,000. Would you agree? That could possibly happen. And next resistance level we were getting at 75,000 seems to be. I could agree with that. And this is the resistance level that I really wanted to see, which happens to be at 78,000. Called it or called it. Am I just not great at what I do? And that could, you know, converge with whatever downtrend line. If we are getting some movement toward the upside, believe it or not, some people actually don't think we will be going up. What are you, crazy? I don't think we'll be going up either. But if we do, we'll get an uptrend, right? After breaking 72,000, we'll meet our first resistance at 75,000. And then I think we could go for 78,000 maximum for this week. It's necessary to see how this behaves because altcoins are heavily reliant on whatever movement Bitcoin makes. And we're seeing a lot of early movement from some of the altcoins already flipping their super trends over. But I would argue the fact that it's because they are so oversold, like actually severely oversold, that this was just bound to happen eventually, a flip over in the trend. Now, is it valid? That depends on macro factors. The biggest one is, of course, Bitcoin's own movement. Will Bitcoin, you know, do the rise? Or, I guess, the rest of the geopolitical events that would impact Bitcoin and the altcoin markets as well. So that's what I see for a projection of this week. Toward the downside, we have, you know, due to the tight volatility, these levels are a bit more closer to each other. Now, it's likely that we can make a newer low at 59,000. Yeah, I hope not, though. 65,000 seems to be our current support level, and then 62,000. Forget 60,000, forget a double bottom. We're looking at 59,000 from there. That's what I see for Bitcoin for now. Hi, Pika-Pooch. Welcome. So, yeah. We'll see how this week plays out. I'm hoping for the upside, and I'm hoping, you know, approach this downtrend line and do your thing, right? Flip trend over, chase trend, go against the trend for a while longer. That's not what I wanted. And then see how price behaves from here for the next week, right? Whether that means we go lower, I would accept it by then. Because if we do approach 78,000 right over here, I'm probably going to sell to get out of my position and then not have to worry about any further lower movements on Bitcoin if we do decide to, you know, hit any of these cycle breaking low points. Because it would be dangerously close to my liquidation price, and at this point, anything is possible. I was rewatching that video from Andrew Tate, and who listens to that guy for investment advice, am I right? But anyway, God bless him, he's rich. Not much we can do about it. So he's been saying the main message is that things can always get worse. That's the video that I watched on him. He said, he gave the analogy like your whole family could die in a car accident. And while you're going to the morgue, you could also get into a car accident. And thinking that it can't get worse, you know, you lose your leg or whatever. And then you get an infection and you lose your hand at the hospital. Or no, you get your ambulance crashes. I don't know, something like that. The point is it can always get worse. And the people that are trying to go max long, trying to recover everything that they've been losing, they're the ones that are going to get burned the most during this. Because they're going max long, max leverage. You're going to get liquidated. It causes these massive cascading events like this. And, you know, people end up losing and things eventually get worse for them. So we'll see what happens. That's my view on the markets for now. Okay. Current price of Bitcoin, by the way, 68,442 if you care. Ethereum, 2,150 resistance is still there. New pivot levels were generated. I love how that pivot is exactly at 2,000. Well, 2,002. Current price is 1,958. First support level at 1860. Second one still at 1,750. I like that. And then we're looking at 1,600 from here. I'm starting to like these levels. Obviously, I don't want to see Ethereum go to the downside. It might happen. Who knows? Toward the upside, though, flipping things positive. If we do break 2,150... depending on the strength, right? If we manage to break out earlier this week, which I don't know what is going to cause this kind of movement, you're still looking at 2,360, right? No longer the 2,400 because of, you know, as time goes on, downtrend line continues, you should expect your targets to be much lower from here. Or otherwise, with Ethereum's slow movement, I think I'd be more willing to accept 2,250 as a resistance, likely converging with that downtrend line, doing a similar movement to what Bitcoin is attempting to make, the equivalent of the 78,000. That's what I think for now on Ethereum. Moving on to Solana, $85.84. It flipped the trend over, broke above 90. When did this happen? It happened right after our stream. That's perfect. And then, well, we've kind of come down since there. Right now, uptrend invalidates for Solana at 80. I see what you're doing. Whoops. Something like that is what we've got going on for Solana. Potential for longs? Sure, if Bitcoin does manage to break above the 72,000 that I've been discussing. Now, if it does do that, obviously Solana will be much higher. And what, you're going to enter Solana up here after it's already in an uptrend? This is where the risk-taking takes effect. You would want to get ahead of that movement if you do truly believe that Bitcoin will go higher, breaking 72,000. Now's the entry on Solana, potentially. Not financial advice, by the way. I'm stupid. So I don't know, you could give it some leeway like this. If this is what the swing you're expecting is to look like, a target at 99, less than 100, should make most sense to me. If you really want to play it safe, you do something like this, maybe at 96. And that is only your bet if you are betting on Bitcoin indeed breaking above the 72,000. That way Solana will also, you know, it's already ahead of the move, with the super trend flipping over in its favor, anticipating what Bitcoin movement could become. And you could argue the same for a lot of other altcoins that have already flipped their trend into the green and are having this little decay or a dip today. So It's likely just to make a higher low that is, you know, part of whatever uptrend you're going through. And if you're in an uptrend, you're expected to make another higher high. How high? You determine that level. Look at the resistance levels for whatever asset you're working with, right? In Solana's case, it's obvious. It's at 99, 100, right? Best case scenario, I don't know, if Solana rises early, we see 107. I really don't think that's going to happen. I'm just going to stick with the 100. That's what I see for Solana. Potentially. Hyperliquid. Bit of a down movement as well today. Still maintaining its uptrend though. That's the good stuff. $30, 30 cents. I don't want to buy here. I will not touch Hyperliquid at these prices. Or ever. I will touch it eventually. Okay, well not like that. Pause. Eventually, I don't know. I'll see if I find any good opportunities on Hyperliquid, I will. But for now, I don't know. The trend has been in the green for a long time. I don't know if I really want to trust into that too much. Sui, very similar build to what we saw with Solana, right? If you are betting on Bitcoin rising above the 72,000, you want to get in early. No rush, by the way. I mean, like tomorrow, we're not expecting any volatility anyway. You can try to get into the move early like this. Maybe the dip happens over here. I'd be more comfortable with putting a stop loss anywhere below where the super trend line is. Because obviously, if the price goes below whatever super trend line is, you're no longer in an uptrend, no matter how much you want to delay the price or, you know, push the uptrend line there. You might as well get out of the position with a stop loss and accept the losses and let the price go lower, because if it does obviously break below this, you're expecting price to go lower. The issue here is that it's gone down so much. How much lower can it go? But like I said, it can always get worse. So, you never know. Potential. I like it. Litecoin. 54. No breakout yesterday. Disappointing. 56 was what we were looking for. Current price is 54. We did hit that exact high, but weren't able to, you know, close a candle above it or break out in any way. So we're here at 54.72. So obviously 57 is the first level we got to break out of. It could take us to 60. That was a big resistance for Litecoin. To where the downside you got 52 maybe, 50 itself, and then 48.50. Then 46. And then a lower low. We're going to break through a lot of support levels though, so I really don't think it's that likely. Unless a massive liquidation event happens, which it shouldn't. What's the point of that? Relax. Chainlink, same deal to what I said with Solana and Sui. Good build up. I don't have any money to buy anything, by the way, so I'm not going to do much. It's kind of the uptrend that's forming right now. And if you want to get in early, same deal, right? Stop loss right there, right below the support level 2 at $8.18. So anything below that would be ideal. And then a target, you know, you got plenty of room to run for a Chainlink before I see any like actual major resistances. Yeah, sure, we have pivot levels. Yeah, sure, you have maybe the $10 resistance. It's there psychologically and, you know, price behavior as well around over here. $10 resistance, kind of. That could kind of be a target for you. Maybe you don't want to go higher than that. Still a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. Seems good enough in my opinion, right? And if you really want to maximize your odds with higher risk, you just tighten the stop loss to whatever recent low you have. I don't know, check the 15-minute chart, anything that's oversold. And then you have like a 1 to 7 risk reward ratio. That's crazy though. I'm not doing that. But it's an idea if you want bad ideas. BitTensor. This is what I expect a lot of altcoins to do. BitTensor is like way ahead of the move, by the way, with this huge rise up over here and approaching whatever downtrend line that we've been carrying on for the past couple months or weeks at least. So it is behaving already like that according to plan. What is this? Do not do that ever again, please. Current price is 187. So we're still looking at 200 as a resistance. Can we break out of this downtrend line? Like I said, we're waiting on Bitcoin's confirmation. Bitcoin's permission, I guess. If Bitcoin breaks the 72,000, BitTensor can rise again. I'm pressing caps lock, no wonder. Another 6%, break out of the 200 level and take us to our first resistance, which would be at 214. And then, you know, we would make a higher low and then continue with an uptrend if Bitcoin is able to manage to continue with its uptrend. If not, if Bitcoin slows down at the 78,000, maybe 214 is as high as it will go for BitTensor. Right now, super trend, it's on the rise and validating at close to 160. Even if it does dip a little lower over here, I would have more confidence in entering something like that if I had the money. I did get paid from work, but I immediately sent all that money to pay off debt and buy more spot Bitcoin. Yes, I'm still accumulating that way. Okay, what else we got? Hedera. 10 cents. I've not looked at it in a weekly chart, honestly, so I probably should do that first. Because it's obvious that we do have downtrends on Hedera. Well, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Huge weekly downtrend, sort of like that. Do I draw another one here? Which one looks cleanest? I guess this one. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I guess that's what looks the best to me. It makes sense. I think we can agree. Just trying to adjust this, micro adjust it as best as possible. Here we go. Don't think we've got that much room to run. Let's check the 4-hour levels. Yeah, maybe 11. 11 cents as a target for Hedera. It's already got its uptrend going on over here, which is good. So we'll applaud that. I don't know where exactly to put this one. That's kind of what it's been respecting for the time being, but with low volatility tomorrow that I'm expecting, I don't know if this will be able to sustain. If anything, we will maybe just decay a little lower and then, you know, start approaching potentially 11 right there and see how price behaves on that, meaning that we would just simply have to adjust whatever uptrend line, sort of like this, and hope that the super trend line does indeed follow. We'll see how it goes. This is my little projection on Hedera. Moving on. Monero. Down 7% today. Okay, I was not expecting a sad move like this. I was hoping we were able to break above 370. There's a lot that I want to talk about with Monero. Actually, I don't know if it's actually a lot, but I've got a couple articles on it. The importance of the privacy tokens. It's crucial. Even CZ is talking about it, so surely there's something there. Why doesn't BNB release their own privacy token? Do they even have one? Does BNB have a privacy token? Yeah, I know it's not a privacy token. They're implementing privacy features. There's like not a token that uses that blockchain though. L. That means Monero is just still in the lead no matter what. Zcash is never going to recover. Monero is your guy. Endorsed by John McAfee. Well, I did not even talk about the price action here, sorry. Yeah, so we still have a downtrend on it, obviously. I'm just gonna... I was gonna say micro adjust, but this is more than just micro adjusting. Huge adjustment here. We're heading toward 310. We're at 325 right now. Potential of another 4% drop to continue here. If it doesn't drop immediately, of course, it will just be over the span of, you know, however long the long weekend takes, right? Monday, not a lot is happening. Okay, so we'll see. Same deal with Bitcoin for now. If we do just decay, it's looking like 65,000 for now. Okay, that's all I have for our crypto analysis. Let's get into the news. We'll be talking about Iran. So we already know that any talks about missiles and the defense system will never be subject to negotiations. Right now, they only want to talk nuclear, and even still, there's this political deadlock. They do not want to give up their nuclear enrichment, at least for the time being, or they're finding ways to prolong this process so that the United States will eventually just move on, give up, whatever the case may be. Now, Israel obviously probably does not want to wait that long. They want to act quickly, and they probably will act if the United States, with or without the United States' approval, I guess. I don't know. Same with what they did last year. Trump backs Israeli attack on Iran's missile program if no deal is reached. At least the United States will not directly be involved with the situation in Iran that way, because, you know, the whole idea of boots on the ground. American military literally had to bomb Iranian nuclear bases last year. Kind of helping Israel because I don't know if they did it properly. So we finished the job is kind of what we're saying over here. Now, maybe Israel will just go ahead and start the bombing. We don't really know yet. At least you know we have this going on. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has arrived in Geneva, Switzerland or Sweden? Switzerland. Ahead of a second round of indirect nuclear negotiations. These are indirect, so it's like they have a guy go into 2 separate rooms or something like that. They're not meeting face to face with, I guess, our Steve Witkoff or Jared Kushner. So the second round of indirect nuclear negotiations with the US is set for Tuesday, and they're expected to meet as well with the IAEA director, General Rafael Grossi. I think this is the people in charge of nuclear stuff, International Atomic Energy Agency, which is probably a good thing, right? If we are going to let Iran keep their nuclear enrichment capabilities, we would want at least supervision from whatever this was again, an agency. An unbiased agency to make sure that they're not going a little too crazy with the nuclear enrichment. Because that was also part of one of the proposed solutions, I guess, is that they can only enrich 1.5% per year or something like that. I don't remember the percentages, but a small amount. Nothing too crazy or threatening that this Islamic regime now has the ability to drop a nuke on anyone whenever they like. That's not a nice idea to have. Us, that's totally fine. That's totally allowed, but not them. That's kind of the view that's going on. Russia-Ukraine is still going on, of course. More drone attacks. Yep, we're always getting that. It's a daily occurrence. I think no one cares. Now, I do want to talk about the censorship, the Online Safety Act, all this stuff with controlling what you see or what you can say online from the governments. To start things off on a related subject with the United States, the Department of Homeland Security are sending legal requests to Google, Reddit, Meta, and Discord to get the names, email addresses, telephone numbers, and identifying data of accounts that track and criticize ICE. I guess under the pretense that they're going to be interfering with or conspiring against police operations. What is ICE? Immigration enforcement, right? But also, like, what about the privacy policies? Like, these companies are not allowed to leak client data, even if it was to the government. And also, if these people are expressing these views, there's freedom of speech laws, right? What constitutes hate speech? Only the people in power can determine that. And that's when it gets possibly a little out of hand. I can't stand this woman. Just stop. Thank you. She's distracting me. It's all depending on whoever is in power gets the control, and how do we determine that? That's kind of what the UK is getting into here. So Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of UK, they have launched a consultation on age-restricting VPNs to stop kids bypassing the Online Safety Act. He's also announced new powers to ban any people under age of 16 children from social media and to block infinite scrolling features at short notice pending the consultation outcome. No, we love the infinite scrolling. Well, I'm not 16 anymore, so I don't care. How do I feel about under 16-year-olds not having the ability to doom scroll? Maybe good. Go touch grass. Go, I don't know, socialize. This is me as an adult telling these darn kids, like, yeah, you know, back in my days, I didn't have a telephone. I don't know, man. Do whatever you want. I'm not your dad. Other measures announced by Starmer tonight. He will also be closing a loophole in the Online Safety Act so that AI chatbots are covered by illegal content duties. A consultation on how tech companies can prevent children from sending or receiving nude images. A consultation on whether to increase the age of digital consent from 13. New requirements to preserve children's social media data following a child's death. Dude, what is going on? Starmer also says that with my government, Britain will be a leader, not a follower when it comes to online safety. More on this later. The action we took on Grok sent a clear message that no platform gets a free pass. Today we are closing loopholes that put children at risk and laying the groundwork for further action. Hey man, everybody's response on Twitter is, if you want to protect the kids, stop importing these migrants from third world countries. That's the big response from everyone, which is funny. Now, Britain will be a leader and not a follower when it comes to online safety. Looks like Canada is following in the same steps. I think this is a duplicate, and so is this cracking down on AI chatbots sharing harmful content, and also the ability to doom scroll. I pulled up the same post 3 times. I thought they were talking about different stuff. It's the same thing. So in Canada, which we will follow everything that the UK does because we're a monarchy, Prime Minister Mark Carney makes the case for censored speech, and he brings up homophobia and Islamophobia that's been going on in American companies' platforms that he's been talking about, and that his government will be fighting against that, is what he explained in this video. Not cool. Let us really explore the internet with whatever content we decide to post, view, or whatever. Like, I don't think the government should be controlling it. Right? They still do, to a certain extent. Too bad. I don't know. I like the free speech aspect of it. But there was something that they would... I saw another video, I think, on Instagram about a guy talking about how Canadian government will also be implementing this same regulation where if you say something offensive on the internet or share a post, like a meme, I don't know, stuff like that, you will have the police showing up at your door. Same as we have been seeing in the UK, which is ridiculous. It's crazy. I don't want that over here, please. Yeah, anyways. Hello, Crypto Squid. Never fear, the squid is here. Indeed. Somehow this guy is still polling heavy. The Liberal Party is 44% in favor. Conservatives at 37%. And these other irrelevant parties are down here. New Democratic Party, 8%. Bloc Québécois, 6%. How? Alright, we'll see. I think it's because we just keep importing all the liberals from the United States. And all the conservatives are leaving. Or they're in Alberta. They're all sticking to this one place. I don't know, dude. Tomorrow's a public holiday. Markets are closed. President's Day / Family Day if you're Canadian. Let's move on, I guess, to crypto portion of the news. Binance founder CZ says that lack of privacy is the missing link to crypto payment adoption. He posted this on Twitter. Lack of privacy may be the missing link for crypto payments adoption. Imagine a company pays employees in crypto on-chain. With the current state of crypto, you can pretty much see how much everyone in the company is paid by clicking the address, the from address, right? That's the thing with the transparency. Yes, you solve the issue of making payments, the P2P transactions with Bitcoin. Lovely, great, excellent, great job. Now the issue is the privacy aspect of it. We don't want people seeing on the public blockchain how much money we're receiving, right? Because that's, I mean, you never ask a man his salary, I guess. I don't know, something like that. I don't mind it. Like, I'm transparent with all that stuff. I literally have no money, but that's okay. And yeah, literally, Monero will fix this because it's private by default. No one will be able to track anything, any payments that have been done. Now, will companies accept Monero payouts, I guess, to their employees? Probably not, because governments and other institutions will not allow Monero to become the main payment usage because of the criminal activity that goes along with the privacy narrative. Unfortunately, it's the criminals that are ruining it this time. Centralized exchanges don't like Monero. Government does not like Monero, etc. because it's untrackable. It's difficult. It's private. And I mean, some people do value their privacy, right? There are people who get a little freaky with it. They like, I don't know, they change their operating system to this crazy Linux thing. A lot of coding involved, a lot of VPNs, a lot of anti-trackers, all this stuff. I think that's a little too excessive, but you know what? Sure, fine, whatever. Your internet service provider knows what you're doing anyway. But yeah, all this talk on Monero, I like it. Depends on which hands it falls on, right? Hey, Greg, happy Sunday to you too. Palantir, apparently, allegedly, not confirmed, they have been accumulating Monero. It says confirmed. It says here, confirmed by who? Not confirmed. No official disclosure from Palantir on Monero accumulation. But they're accumulating Monero allegedly then. The company building NSA surveillance tools, Palantir, they're buying the one coin that no one can trace. Monero, right now it's down 51% from its January highs at $715. Seraphis upgrade shipping February 2026 expands anonymity set from 16 to 100 million outputs. The data intelligence contractor knows something about privacy value. Now, this could be a little spooky because we know Palantir is a surveillance company, and I don't know, the fact that they have access to, everybody has access to it, but they will be using this privacy token thing as well. Do we trust these people? Source intel is not public. Track the on-chain flows yourself if you need verification. I wanted to see where is this other post. All right, this Grok, is this true? Well, no reply from Grok. So it's alleged for now, but imagine if this does happen. That would be interesting. What else we have? For Solana, PayPal has designated Solana as the default blockchain network for processing transactions with its stablecoin Pi USD PayPal USD PY. It's a USD pegged stablecoin, one-to-one backed by high-quality assets like US dollar deposits and treasuries. It's issued by Paxos, and it's fully regulated. It launched as an ERC20 token on Ethereum in 2023, and then PayPal officially brought Pi USD to Solana in May 2024, which we've talked about, I'm sure, before, highlighting the network's high throughput speed and near zero to low transaction costs for payments. The new development: Solana is now the default network for Pi USD payments transfers. So, and PayPal, Venmo apps are related integrations. That's cool. The issue is that we don't get Pi USD in Canada. It's only in the United States. This means that transactions will prioritize Solana unless a user explicitly chooses another supported chain like Ethereum or Arbitrum, which Pi USD also supports in 2026. Why this matters? This is positioned as an infrastructure level choice for scale, favoring Solana's efficiency for real-world payments over Ethereum's higher fees and slower speeds in many cases. Although it's not that bad nowadays, but Solana is still better, I will give you that. The chain comparison agent has been supporting... Wait, what? Shaponi, this showing Solana being used more by large value stablecoin transactions over Ethereum, 62% to 38%, 7 days rolling. No idea what that means. Hey, big if true. I do like, you know, PayPal. I wish I could have access to Pi USD. It just, I like the idea of all of it being on the blockchain, right? And once again, yes, it wouldn't be private anymore. It's transparent. But still, you know, the replacement. And you can use that to buy more crypto with it. Although you can still do it with different ways. There's many ways to on-ramp, off-ramp crypto. It's just another ease of access, I guess, right? And it would just become more mainstream. People would just understand, oh yeah, this is the crypto version of it all we can use. Sure, why not? Okay. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says retail users remained resilient during the market downturn, buying the dip as majority increased Bitcoin and ETH holdings. That's good. So retail investors seem to not be giving up on the whole thing just yet. We'll see if they still manage to hold through all this mess. I don't know. I feel like the people who wanted to leave are already gone. POV me trying to exit at 78k, but you know, you get the point. And there's also a big retail inflow, the biggest ever. $48 billion have been pumped into US equities. So not specifically to crypto, but retail traders injected $48 billion into US equities over the past 21 days, which marks the largest retail inflow streak ever recorded. Not bad. When will the institutions do this? U.S. millionaire migration, not immigration. It shows a map of the United States where the millionaires are going to and leaving from. Seems like, you know, obviously the biggest red one is California state, and the biggest green one is Florida state. 50,000 plus millionaires have left California and New York. Florida is the #1 destination. I see Florida and Texas does also make sense. Interesting. What else we got? The crypto czar, David Sachs. He says that banks will go all in on crypto after market structure legislation passes. Yeah, we do kind of know that, and we hope this does happen. Please happen soon. Michael Saylor. He hints at his 99th Bitcoin buy. Hey, that's crazy. This guy's been buying so much. And yet he's in a negative position as well. What's his average price again? It's like 76,000. For the sake of Michael Saylor, please can we get a pump? You know, at least to 78,000. Maybe. Strategies Michael Saylor posted his Saylor tracker chart with the caption 98 is greater than 99, which implements an imminent 99th Bitcoin purchase event. Great. We'd love to see that. Let's see where this guy manages to buy. If he buys anything above 70,000, I'm done. I don't know how this guy manages to buy the top every time. We literally had Bitcoin at 65,000 throughout the week. If he managed to buy above 70,000, he's just legendary at buying at the worst prices, because even like before we dipped over here, he bought like all the way up here, and then Bitcoin's price dipped to 60,000. It's a thing I literally reposted on my account here from Peter Schiff on Michael Saylor's purchase. Somehow you managed to buy at 78,000, so Saylor manages to buy right over here. So did I, but that's besides the point. I was DCAing, okay? This guy makes a huge buy once a week. And he averages his cost up because Saylor's average price is 76,000, right? From what we know. He increases his average price because he's buying higher. And he has been doing that for ever since Bitcoin has been higher than this, of course. He rose it from 70-something to 76,000 ultimately. Even though Bitcoin dipped below 60,000 during that week, like this dip over here we're talking about, how did you not buy down here, Michael Saylor? Why are you buying at 78,000 was Peter Schiff's explanation on that. The current price at the time was 68,000. Yeah, if Bitcoin's price 68,000 after recovering from the 60,000 here, I'd be surprised if Michael Saylor manages to buy like over here or over here. Please buy down here, Michael Saylor. Please do not disappoint us anymore. We're tired. But don't worry. Strategy also stated in an official post that even if Bitcoin's price were to decline to something absurdly low like $8,000, the company will still be fine. They will have sufficient assets to fully cover its outstanding debt obligations. Strategy founder Michael Saylor says the company plans to convert its convertible debt into equity over the next 3 to 6 years. We'll see, dude. He needs to start buying at the moment. That will move the price. Yeah, I do hope so too, but honestly, at this point, the guy's been buying every single week. And every single week, I feel like this thing has just gotten lower and lower. People are always saying, like, how does Michael Saylor buy $1 or $2 billion in Bitcoin? And then the price does, like, this, right? If Saylor bought over here at 78,000, why did the price immediately crash right after? He's just being exit liquidity at this point. And yeah, he does have to buy at the market. Because he is doing a lot of IPO purchases. That's part of the reason as well. It's not a direct purchase that impacts the market price. Yeah, exactly. It's OTC, so it's just a different deal, right, between two separate parties. Zero involvement with the market. He's buying Bitcoins from some other entity so that it doesn't impact the price of crypto. What else we got? Ethereum staking. It hits a new all-time high. More than 30% of Ethereum is being staked. It's all fueled thanks to Tom Lee's Bitmine, who continues to purchase and stake Ethereum as well. They have like 5% of the Ethereum supply, all of it in staking, or at least the vast majority of it is. So that does indeed contribute to that. And he's just one-man army versus, I guess, the rest of the world. But hey, a high staking rate means that a lot of people are willing to hold Ethereum long-term, at least 30% of holders. I'm also holding Ethereum long-term, but I'm not staking it, so I don't know what I'm doing, but I should. I don't know. I don't trust staking much anymore. After what happened with Terra Luna that one time, I'm kind of like against staking. Because what if I do need to pull out, like, urgently? How liquid would my assets be, right? It happened with Terra Luna when the price started crashing. I was, like, locked up. All my assets were locked up for, like, 3 months. When the 3 months were over, Terra Luna was at, like, astronomically low levels, and I was like, well, there you go. I lost $4,000. Lovely. And back at that time, that was a lot of money to me, so... Sure. Logan Paul. He purchased this NFT. This looks ugly, by the way. I don't know why you would buy this for $635,000 in 2021. Today it's worth $100, $155. From $635,000 to $155. Is there a way to short NFTs? Like, this seems like a easiest money generating machine. NFTs losing their value, because that's all we hear about, right? Sure, we get the occasional, oh, this ugly monkey goes up to the millions of dollars, and it's literally just a picture of a monkey that's AI generated. Why would you want to buy that? Okay, sure. It's funny because Watcher Guru, the Twitter account that posted this, taking a jab, kind of uncalled for, I guess, today posted this, and then Logan Paul just blocks him out of frustration. That's pretty funny. But, I mean, Logan Paul still is, I guess, bullish on crypto or something. Don't forget he scammed his audience. Never forget. But anyway, he followed Altcoin daily. Crypto is growing. So what is it? What are we doing here, Logan Paul? X, Twitter, will launch a crypto and stock trading in a couple of weeks. Is this true, Grok? Based on X's head of product, Nikita Beer, recent statement, X is launching smart cash tags in the coming weeks for live stock and crypto data and trading links, but X will not handle the executions. The trades will redirect to external brokers, not full in-app trading as claimed. So that's what it is. It's basically like another TradingView built into X. That's what it is. Because on TradingView, it's not its own exchange. You cannot buy or sell through TradingView. You can use TradingView and connect it to your broker, and your broker will be the one that will buy or sell trades, right? Where do I see like the... There's like this thing you gotta click on. I'm illiterate with TradingView. Where is it? I swear it's like, you gotta click on one of these things. Is it this? It's not this. I don't know, dude. It's something. Well, I'll never figure it out. I'm just gonna not embarrass myself anymore here. It's one of these. Object tree. No. No. It's one of these, dude. I don't know. Where do I see the stockbrokers? Do I just have to like click on an actual asset? Yeah, dude, I don't know. But you could like connect your broker to TradingView and then execute trades that way. So something similar is coming to Grok in that sense. Which means that technically, yeah, you can open like a chart on Twitter, look at the price of Bitcoin and crypto and be like, yep, I want to just buy over here and see what happens. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but okay. And how will the charts even look like? It's basically just going to be another TradingView implemented chart like this we have on BingX, for example, or literally any other crypto exchange. I guess it will. It makes the most sense to do that. So we'll see. Sadly, this is my last bit of news. I literally ran out of news. NASDAQ moves to lift its position limits on Bitcoin ETF options. Why was there a position limit either way? And I'm going to study options soon. I'll make the time for it. And I really can't wait. I heard trading options on ETFs for crypto is really good due to its obvious volatility and nature, right? Yeah. Yeah, can't wait to see what happens there. Mainly IBIT. IBIT is the most famous, the most popular one to do, right? So that's BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. That's the good stuff, because you can't do, obviously, you can't do options on a centralized exchange like this, right? It has to be on regulated assets, meaning that it would be with stocks or ETFs. And that's the good thing about crypto ETFs is that you get the ability to trade options on that. Import the Wall Street, become the Wall Street. Then you get like a triple witching event. And then on Friday, you get all this volatility from options contracts expiry. It brings the volatility in, which this is why I kind of did. I'm okay with like ETFs and all that, because it does bring in the volume, the volatility, you know. But then sometimes like things that are just completely unrelated to crypto, a geopolitical event, it will just catastrophize the prices of Bitcoin because the Wall Street investors want to get rid of this fake imaginary volatile internet money first. And then, you know, their precious metals and stocks and bonds or whatever they're investing in. So yeah, that's where crypto suffers. Okay. I'm done. I have nothing much else to talk about. What has been going on here? Top gainers, top losers. Humanity Protocol is going up for whatever reason. Hey, at least we're still in the top 100 with this coin. Dude, this coin came out of nowhere, which is so funny. I saw it like over here, and it was down here for like the longest time. I lived through this, okay? I was literally trading this coin. And then it just has this explosive move upward as soon as I sell. And it's still going. Up another 11% today. Obviously, it's like crashed and gone back down to these same lows over here. Probably should have entered. I don't know. This has to do with like digitalized fingerprint identity IDs. This is basically like the Palantir of crypto, I guess. I don't know what this is. Where's the About Me section? Stands apart from existing solutions, especially government-run biometric ID systems, through a combination of decentralization, user ownership, and Web3 native interoperability. Unlike the centralized government databases, Humanity puts individuals in control of their own biometric and identity data via tamper-proof blockchain infrastructure. It ensures privacy, security, and resistance to censorship. Okay. Lovely. Why is Monero crashing? It's among the biggest crashers today. Negative news on illicit use. There you go. Oh no, guys, Monero is used for money laundering. Oh, but it's from proceeds from child sexual abuse material. Okay. Really, you can't punish Monero because of that. Come on. I mean, sure, yeah, child sexual abuse material bad, but come on. There's more to Monero than just that. Okay, well, the regulatory risks that Monero faces, that's the issue. But I mean, ultimately, an individual's privacy will matter more, will matter the most. So I'll stay bullish on Monero for the time being. Why is Pepe down? Pudgy Penguin's down too. All our meme coins are down. Zcash is down even harder. That's crazy. How much lower can Zcash even go? Beta underperformance. No clear secondary driver. Yep. Nobody wants Zcash anymore. Rest in peace, Zcash. What else do we got? Rest of these coins just generally dropping hard. Yeah. Okay. That is all for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow. I don't know if we're doing something for Family Day. We probably will, because I have a family or something. So, if I don't stream, you understand why. I'm not celebrating the president. I'm celebrating my family, okay? We're not American. We're Canadian. It's a difference. But if I was American, absolutely, I would be celebrating the president. Yup. So, yeah. And if I do stream, good. We'll figure out something to talk about. On Ethereum, 2,150, or it'll drop to 1,760. I'm going to say optimistic with the views. I'll give it the rise to 2,150. Although it seems like, I don't know, it would really depend on what Bitcoin does, of course. And what I think Bitcoin will do. It's crucial to see. I don't know. I'm hoping for a recovery, at least, for the time being. Because we are still a little far out from this downtrend line. And also, can you give me a good reason for this thing to keep dropping more than it already has? I'm hoping that we have bottomed out, so I'll stay bullish with it. I'll expect Bitcoin rise to break 72,000, hopefully max out at 78,000, which means that Ethereum will, I'm expecting to rise, of course, to 2,150, the equivalent of 72,000, and then ultimately whatever resistance level we had over here. 2,250 for sure, but if the momentum is strong and we're lucky enough, 2,350 on Ethereum. Okay. That's the views on the market, guys. Thanks for watching. So I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. And if not, you understand. Tuesday, I don't stream either. So if I'm not on tomorrow, I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. All right.